Welcome back to Unknown Enigma. Today, we step back in time to one of the most devastating conflicts in history, the First World War. We're going beyond the history books to look at rare, unfiltered images that show the war as it truly was, from the point of view of those who were there. Number 1. This is the battlefield in July 1916 during the Battle of the Somme. The landscape was completely reshaped by relentless artillery, turning fields into a barren wasteland of mud and craters. Number 2. And here are the soldiers at the Battle of the Somme in 1916. Their faces, etched with fatigue and shell shock, tell a story of unimaginable hardship and endurance. Number 3. This image shows Australian infantry wearing small box respirators to protect against gas attacks. Chemical warfare was a terrifying new reality, and this gear was a soldier's only defense against an invisible enemy. Number 4. Here, French soldiers are seen moving into an attack from their trench during the Battle of Verdun in 1916. This moment, known as going over the top, was one of the most dangerous acts a soldier could perform. Number 5. The wounded were often tended to directly on the battlefield. Medics worked tirelessly under fire, performing incredible acts of bravery to save their comrades. Number 6. This shows soldiers taking a moment to make a meal in the trenches. Finding a brief moment of normalcy amidst the chaos was a vital way to maintain morale and humanity. Number 7. Tanks, a new invention, were used to navigate the difficult, war-torn terrain. These early machines were slow and unreliable, but they represented a hope of finally breaking the brutal stalemate. Number 8. Here, soldiers are trying to dry their feet out in an attempt to prevent trench foot. Prolonged exposure to wet conditions caused this painful affliction that could lead to infection and amputation. Number 9. This image captures a moment of first aid being administered on the battlefield at the Somme. With millions wounded during the war, scenes like this were an all-too-common part of daily life at the front. Number 10. These are New Zealand soldiers reading a copy of a publication called New Zealand at the Front. Mail and publications from home were a lifeline, connecting soldiers to the world they were fighting for.
Number 11. Soldiers had to get a nap whenever and wherever they could. Constant shelling and the stress of combat led to severe sleep deprivation, making even a few moments of rest precious. Number 12. This is a portrait of a German soldier during the First World War. It's a powerful reminder that on the other side of the wire were men just as young and just as weary. Number 13. Here, soldiers on the front line are hunkering down in the trenches. Life was a state of constant alert, waiting for the next artillery barrage or the whistle signaling an attack. Number 14. This image shows injured Indian soldiers of the British Army being treated during the war. Over 1 million Indian soldiers served overseas, making a crucial contribution to the Allied war effort. Number 15. This was the grim task of salvage on the battlefield near Bapaume. Everything from weapons to scrap metal was collected from the wreckage to be reused in the relentless war machine. Number 16. These are U.S. troops in France just weeks before Germany's surrender. The arrival of these fresh American doughboys provided a crucial boost to Allied morale in the final year of the war. Number 17. A common sight, bringing in the wounded from the battlefield in April of 1917. The journey back from the front line was perilous, both for the wounded and the brave men who carried them. Number 18. In this photo, U.S. troops man a captured German communications outpost. Capturing enemy positions, no matter how small, was vital for gathering intelligence and pressing the advance. Number 19. This shows the harsh reality of wading through waterlogged trenches. Constant rain and poor drainage turned the trenches into rivers of mud, making every movement a struggle. Number 20. In 1917, Canadian troops sit and take a break in a field during a pause in their attack on the Cambrai front. These moments of rest were always temporary, a brief calm before the storm of battle inevitably resumed. Number 21. This photo from December 1915 shows Canadian cavalrymen. Cavalry were a symbol of an older era of warfare, but they still played a role before trenches dominated the landscape. Number 22. Here we see the vital work of stretcher bearers and dressers. Unarmed and clearly marked, they faced the same dangers as combat soldiers to rescue their fallen comrades. Number 23. This is a dispatch rider of the Royal Naval Division Signal Company. These riders raced along treacherous roads under threat of shell fire to deliver critical orders and intelligence. Number 24. A soldier stands at the junction of two trenches known as Gourlay Trench and Gordon Alley. Giving familiar names to these muddy ditches was a small way for soldiers to impose some order on their chaotic world. Number 25. This shows John Mintz, a man who was punished by a mob during the First World War. This image is a stark reminder that the passions and prejudices of war could be felt far from the front lines.
Number 26. This photo captures German infantry on the battlefield. By this stage of the war, the German army was a battle-hardened and formidable fighting force. Number 27. This image shows women's war work during the First World War. Women stepped into factories to build shells and weapons, becoming essential to the industrial war effort on the home front. Number 28. A glimpse of the Royal Navy during the First World War. Control of the seas was crucial for blockading enemy ports and transporting troops and supplies from across the globe. Number 29. A look inside a factory showing arms production in Britain. The conflict was a war of industry, and entire economies were transformed to produce unprecedented volumes of war materials. Number 30. This is an Australian field ambulance crew. These crews provided the next level of care behind the front lines, stabilizing the wounded before they were sent to hospital. Number 31. This photo shows American troops with their uniform and equipment during the war. Their relatively clean uniforms contrast sharply with the wariness of veteran European soldiers who had been fighting for years. And finally, a look at industry during the First World War. This was total war, a conflict that demanded the complete mobilization of entire nations, their people, and their economies. Thank you for watching this powerful glimpse into the First World War. These images are a stark reminder of the human cost of conflict. For more explorations of history's mysteries, please subscribe to Unknown Enigma.